Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. Today we are going to talk about view model and how view model works internally, right? So the MVVM pattern is very popular right now, and Android developers, as we are very familiar with the view model and its use cases and why it's required, right? But today we are going to take a deeper look at how the view models work internally and how the activity gets hold of the view model, and even when the activity is destroyed, the view model still is able to outlive the activity life cycle, right? So to start off with, I have a empty project over here. So if I run this right now, then it would lead to this screen which you can see. So let's go ahead and let's create a new view model, right? So right click, next. We can call this a sample view model, and we will extend the view model class, right? So our new view model is created. We'll just add one very simple method called fun print existence, and then there will print ln basically hey, I am sample view model, right? And then it will print the timestamp, right? Say system dot current time in minutes, correct? So now if I were to use this view model in my activity or fragment, right? So then what I would do is equal I'll maybe get hold of my view model, right? And then I would that would basically be equal to, I'll get hold of a view model provider. I'll pass in this, which is the activity, right? And then I'll do dot get, and then I am supposed to pass the class over here. So the class is sample view model, right? So I'll write sample view model and I'll pass the Java class, right? And then I'll come down, I'll do my view model dot print existence, right? So if I run this, then in that case what should happen is basically once the main activity is on create is called, then my view model should be initialized over here, and then I should be able to view this print existence method would be called, and I should be able to view in my logcat that some message has been done, right? So the message is, hey, I am a sample view model, right? So if I put the thing filter over here, then I can see that, hey, I'm sample view model and the current timestamp has been created in milliseconds, right? Fine. Then so this is basically how it would work, right? If I were to use it in my daily day-to-day activities. But going further, how does this view model provider get hold of this view model, right? Because nowhere are we explicitly doing calling the constructor of the view model, correct? So here, when I'm trying to call this view model provider, when I'm trying to instantiate the view model provider class, then what is happening is I am supposed to pass in something which is a view model store owner, right? Now, but I'm passing it this, right? So this is our main activity over here, which extends the app compat activity, but I need the view model store owner. So somewhere this must be implemented, right? So if I go to the super class, which is the app compat activity of main activity, right? So then I see that this app compat activity also has another super class, which is the fragment activity, right? Now when I go into the fragment activity, I see that there's another one called component activity. So a pretty long hierarchy of classes, right? So I go into the component activity. There I see that the component activity class implements this interface called view model store owner, right? That is exactly what we needed over here, correct? If you see view model store owner, and that is being implemented by the component activity class. So another thing to note over here is that this interface is also implemented, which is the has default view model provider factory, right? So let's check them out one by one. The view model store owner is an interface which has a method called get view model store, and that would return you a view model store, right? So the owner has a method to get hold of the store, correct? So that has been implemented over here, and this method has been overridden. If I am to search over here, then I would see, yeah, over here, I'll just minimize this, right? So I can see that this method has been overridden over here, the get view model store. Now what is it doing? It's just checking if the application is fine, it's not null, right? If it is, then it's ensuring a view model store. So what do you mean by ensuring? So it's basically checking if the view model store is null or not. If it is null, in that case it is instantiating a new view model store and then finally returning the view model store, right? So the non-configuration instance class is something of importance over here. So this is basically a static class which would hold reference to the view model store, correct? So a static class would basically not be tied to the activities lifecycle, right? This component activity. So even if the component activity is destroyed, the static class would survive it, right? And then the next time when it's required, the static instance can be obtained, and from there the same view model store we can use, right? So that is basically on a very high level how the view model survives the configuration change, right? But let's go forward and let's check out how we actually get hold of the view model instance, correct? So here, after ensuring that the view model store is not null and it's properly there, we return the view model store in this method, correct? So that is the only method we had to override in order to implement our view model store owner interface, correct? And then there's this another interface which I told you that has default view model provider factory, right? So this tells us whether this has a factory or not, correct? Now what is a factory? If we go back here, right? So in that case, in this view model provider constructor, you see that it takes hold of a view model store owner and also can take hold of a view model factory, right? View model provider.factory. So what is this view model provider.factory? If I go inside this view model class, then I see this factory instance interface, right? So this factory interface is over here. So this factory interface is the one which defines a method which is called create, right? And that you would pass a model class to it and it would instantiate the view model basically, right? So this create method would be used to instantiate the view model basically. So this is what somewhere this would be defined, and that would call the constructor of the view model class. So moving on, we went to the view model provider class constructor, right? So here we passed in the reference to our activity, which is the view model store owner, correct? So this in turn calls another secondary constructor, which first parameter is the store owner dot get view model store, right? Which we just saw that the component activity had overridden over here, store owner, right? So if I go to component activity, I can see that this is yes. So you override the method over here, right? So we just saw this ensuring and everything, right? So this gets hold of the view model store from the view model store owner, and then the next parameter is the factory, right? So it tries to get hold of the factory from the owner. So again, now you see that the second interface which was implemented in this component activity class is the has default view model provider factory, correct? So this checks is if the owner which we passed, which was our activity, is an instance of the has default view model provider factory interface, right? So if it is, then it tries to get hold of the view model provider factory, or if it is not, then in that case it tries to create a new factory, right? So if we go inside this get instance, here you see that this is an overridden method. This new instance factory class implements the factory which we saw had the create method, right? So this is just the get instance method, and this is the create method. So what it's doing inside this create method, it's giving the definition to this method from the interface. So you pass in the model class over here, and here you have a try catch block where it just tries to do model class dot new instance, right? So it tries to create the view model class in this place, right? And then it returns the view model, right? So this is basically one place where it's instantiated, right? One of the places. The other place is we saw inside the component activity, right? So where this is being overridden, correct? So now if we again go back to where we were, we saw this method, right? So this would either pass in the view model provider factory from the component activity class, or it would create one new over here, correct? And then the second interface, like the secondary constructor that it's being called over here, that would just take in the store and the factory and then it would just like assign them to variables for further references, right? So that's about it. What happens when we try to instantiate the view model provider class, right? After that, we just do a simple get call, right? So if you are doing it in Kotlin, then maybe you would use the indexing operator, something like this, but this is just internally the get method which is being called. So if we go inside this get method, right, so in that case we see that it takes hold of the model class, it tries to get the canonical name from the model class, and then it tries to call another method which is the get, and there it passes the default key appended with the canonical name as the key, right? So it takes in two inputs, one is the key and one is the model class, right? So it's a key value pair basically. So this part forms the key and this is the value, right? So it goes into this get method where the key is taken, and then the view model store which we had previously got from the store owner, right? So there we call this dot get method. So if I jump into this dot get method, what it does is basically the view model store itself is, as the name suggests, it's just for storing the view model, right? It holds references to view model instances, right? So this has a hash map which is of type string and the value is view model, right? So here we see that we have a string key and a class model class, right? So this is the value part of it and this is the key, and here we notice something similar, which is the value. There's a value for view model and the key relating to it is the string, right? We can we have a bunch of methods. One is the put method, one is the get method, right? The other one is the clear method. So what this put method does is basically once a view model has been created using the factory.create method, right? So then you call this method and the view model store gets hold of the view model and it puts it inside this hash map basically, right? So the hash map would have this key and this value inserted into it, and then if any older view model was there, right, so then in that case that old view model would be clear and this new one is inserted and put it in its place, right? So it would be replacing the old view model with the new one basically. And the one we had over here, right, when we were calling the get method of the view model provider class, the first thing that it did was to call the view model store.get method, right? So in the get method it just returns a nullable view model basically. So this is a Java class, so you don't have this kind of the question mark over here. You only have this return type, but it obviously can be nullable. So it would try to get hold of the view model from the hash map. In case it does not get, it will return a nullable instance of it, right? So here we get the view model, we get hold of the nullable view model, right? And then we check if the model class is an instance of the view model reference that we just got. If it is, then in that case we return the view model, right? Then you would get your view model assigned over here and then you can do anything with it. If it is not, in that case, right, so if it was not going over here, then it would come the else part. It would not do anything specific over here. Then it would try executing this method, right? So what this does is basically at this point in time, you know that the view model which is requested by the activity, it does not exist, so you have to create a new one. So here the M factory that we had got previously, right? So when you were instantiating the view model provider class, then we passed in the store owner and the factory, right? So this is that factory over here. So here we check if the factory is an instance of keyed factory, right? If it is, then it calls the .create method with the key and the model class, right? If it is not, then in that case it calls the create method with a model class, right? So like we saw, factory has this method, right? So we can just call it, correct? And this keyed factory is just another static implementation of the factory interface, right? So this has the create method and also attached, like this has the original create method, and also attached to it is this create method, right? So this create method is basically taking a key and view model class as the input, and this one just took the view model class and then figured out the key on its own, right? So that is mostly the difference between the keyed factory and the normal factory. So if we go over here, then in this we had gotten hold of the factory called the create method, and then our view model would be instantiated over here. Once the view model instance we have, then in that case we call this view model store.put method, right, which we previously saw, which has the hash map inside of it, and then it puts the key and the value inside the hash map, right? So we put it in the view model store so that the next time the main activity requires it, then we can directly get it from calling this method, right? So next time we call it, we will directly get it from the hash map using this same key, right? So then we pass in the view model as a return type for this function. So once we pass that in, we get the value view model instance over here, and after that we normally go on. So that's about it. So that's how mostly a view model works, right? So just to recap, maybe, so what we do is we use this view model provider class, pass in an instance of the store owner, view model store owner. Now view model store owner has one method called the get view model store, right? So the owner provides the view model store, and we saw that the main activity, which has a few superclasses, goes up to the component activity, and the component activity in turn is the one who implements this view model store owner interface, also implements a factory interface, right? So here also we can, while instantiating the view model provider class, we can pass in our own factory if we want to. Otherwise it gets hold of the owner and then internally it tries to figure out the factory over here. After that, once it's done, it just stores the references of the factory and the view model store, right? And then it tries to call this get method, correct? So in the get method, we figure out the key for the hash map, right? So the hash map we saw in the view model. So then this get method tries to get hold of the view model using the key, right? So you figure out the key using the canonical name of the class appended with the default key. Then we used to call this get method, wherein it would call the view model store.get and then pass in the key. If anything existed over there, we would get it back from the hash map. If did not exist, then in that case we would get a nullable instance of it, right? So then we check whether the instance we have and the instance we need are the same or not by using this model class. If it is, then in that case we pass in, like, we return the view model. If it is not, in that case we come here, we get hold of the factory which we had stored previously. We check what kind of a factory it is, whether it's the native factory interface, or if it is the keyed factor class which is also implementing the factory interface on its own, right? So if it is the keyed factory, then we call the create method with passing the key which we had over here and the view model class. If it is not, then we just pass in the model class and it tries to figure out the key from there using the canonical name, right? So there we have the view model instance ready with us in either scenario, and then we put it inside the view model store. Here we had gotten it, now we put it, just because since it's the first time that this view model is created, it should be put inside the hash map and it should be present for further references, so that we don't have to create it again, but we can just come here and get it from the view model store, right? So we put it inside the hash map and then we return it. Upon the return of this function, the pointer passes on to over here where we finally get hold of our view model instance, and then we can just call in any method that we want, right? So this is mostly the video today. I hope you learned something. I hope I was able to share something useful with you. Please do check out my other videos. Thank you.